And tonight he wears the silver trunks, and he comes to us from Buenos Aires, Argentina. He is undefeated with a professional record of 16 wins, only one draw, 6 wins by knockout. Introducing Sergio Martinez. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner. He weighed in at 147.5 pounds. He's wearing the white trunks with the blue trim. He is from Tijuana, Baja California, Mexico. His professional record, a very fine 20 wins, only 3 defeats, 12 wins by knockout. Introducing Antonio Tony Margarito.
So welcome to Las Vegas on what should be a classic fight night, we hope. We're going to start at welterweight. Antonio Margarito and Sergio Gabriel Martinez, a 24-year-old from Argentina. Well, all the headlines around Las Vegas in the newspapers. Todo por la gloria de Mexico. That's about the big one tonight, Morales and Barrera. The arena just filling up, as you can see, but it'll be full later on, believe me. In the silver trunks here is Martinez from Argentina, who's won 16 out of 17 so far. The 21-year-old Mexican Antonio Margarito from Tijuana, and he has been sparring with Oscar De La Hoya in preparation for his big fight next week against Daryl Coley. De La Hoya, by the way, due to be in a rematch with Felix Trinidad maybe in mid-June. That's the latest word.
Well, you just wonder how much that sparring took out of Margarito. That's pretty tough work in the ring every day with Oscar De La Hoya.
Well, the Argentinians who are taking the big fight tonight live were especially pleased to see Martinez getting his place on this bill. A reputation of a tall, clever boxer. 7 of his last 8 fights won on points. He's the one in the silver trunks, remember, on the right of the picture, the Argentinian. The only blemish on his record, a draw against Mario Nieva a couple of years ago. Margarito's lost 3 out of 23, all on points. The last one, though, was 4 years ago, so he's on a decent run since then.
Well, Martinez is getting off quite good. He looks fast and slick, and some nice punches coming in from him. Looks a little different from most Argentine fighters who are normally just tough, bull-like, come-forward fighters. You know, he's on the back foot and looking to pick his shots quite well.
Southpaw stance, poking out that jab, and there it is again from Martinez.
Martinez got his hands very low by his sides, but good quick reflexes in and out and coming back with some good left hands.
Having to fight with his back to the ropes for a moment, Martinez. This is going to be the tactics, I think, from the Mexican Margarito to try to cut off the corners, bull Martinez around.
Well, he's got to try and just get a better defense as he does that, Margarito, because his face is very red and he's getting caught with some sharp punches as he comes forward.
I just wonder how much good it's done Margarito sparring with Oscar De La Hoya these past few days.
Well, I can think of better preparation for a fight than that. That's a pretty tough way to earn your money.
Oh, right hand, though, from Margarito, and Martinez in trouble. Will have to take a count. Mandatory 8, buckled at the knees, and trouble for the Argentinian. And he's still not ready to go back into action. The bell comes at the end of the round, but that is a very nasty shock for Sergio Gabriel Martinez. He was really rocked there, Glenn.
He was. Maybe he needed a little bit of a wake-up, but he certainly got it. He was winning the round right till that very last punch, but you know, so you still got to give it to him. But that was a bit of a wake-up call.
Well, it does raise the question about his chin.
Well, maybe just caught a bit cold. It was a very good punch, chopping right hand.
He didn't actually touch down, but he had to take a count because it was just the ropes that kept him up. So Joe Cortez was absolutely right. Question of whether on the scorecard you negate everything else that happened with that incident. But it's a real test for this Argentinian now. This was a showcase for him tonight. It would be a nightmare for him if he was to come a cropper. Could happen though. Due to go 10 this in the welterweight division.
Well, he was doing very well in that round, but he was too relaxed, I think. Had his hands very low, taking a few chances, maybe just taking Margarito a little bit too lightly. Now he knows that he can be hurt with a punch, and now he's got to try and do something a bit better.
Margarito looking the more limited stylist of the two, but he looks like so many of the Mexicans. Really tough. Picked off again with the fast southpaw jab. It looks like the minute has been long enough for the head of Martinez to clear. Mexican, remember, in the white trunks here. With his back to you. Margarito from the same town, Tijuana, on the border as Eric Morales, who we see in the big one later on. Looks a bit open, doesn't he, Martinez?
He's very open. He's got good fast hands, and reflexes are good with his hands, but you just can't be that defensively open.
Margarito having no trouble really in getting in range to land these siding shots of his own. This might be a long night for Sergio Gabriel Martinez, and it might be a disappointment for the Argentinian fans back home who were hoping that he'd put on a good performance here on this massive bill.
Well, Martinez is used to going to points. 7 of his last wins have been on points, so that shouldn't worry him too much. But just the way Margarito comes forward, he looks tough and he looks strong and rugged.
Sneak little left hand by Martinez, but these are single shots from him, and the bull-like rugged qualities of the Mexican, who was a little low with one of his blows. He's on those ropes again. He's not especially elusive, and he'll need to tighten up that defense, Martinez, otherwise he could be looking down the barrel of his first defeat tonight.
There were good shots inside from Margarito, looking to catch Martinez with the uppercut.
Right hand, did it land from Martinez? Well, I'm not sure. Margarito, the Mexican, looking stronger. Well, he's finding this tough action from that second round, and I gave that one to Margarito, the Mexican.
I give him that one as well. I just thought he started to get into the fight, started to push Martinez around a bit too much, and there's some good uppercuts went in there. And I don't know if the strength and the power is going to be too much for Martinez. He's got to start getting some sharper boxing going.
Silver trunks, remember, of Sergio Gabriel Martinez, the 24-year-old from Argentina. Came with a reputation of something of a stylist, though he hadn't seen him before, but he's not especially elusive or quick, is he?
He's not. He's boxing with a very relaxed style, which I think he could do without. He'd do better, I think, if he tucked up and tried not to be as flash.
Trying to get him with some left hands and then away again. Raiding tactics here from Martinez. Will these work for him? A bit lighter on his feet. Trying to give it some lateral movement. All the time, Margarito looking to cut off the ring. Margarito's been a pro, like so many Mexicans, since he was just 15 years old. Body shots, and these might be the answer for him.
Margarito's not especially elusive himself. He does get hit when he comes forward, but he has, you know, he is very, very strong. Does look the harder puncher of the two.
Well, he's typical Mexican, isn't he? Walk through walls to land his own punches.
That's right. He's prepared to take a few when he comes in, and just hopes that his strength and his bull-like quality will tell.
There was a decent left-hand counter from Martinez in there, but he'll be wanting to keep the fight out in the center of the ring if he can. Margarito getting closer again, looking to unload those body shots. They really have to work for this one, I think. Martinez, he reeled off 10 straight wins last year, and Bob Arum was saying that he is the best prospect at the moment in Argentina.
Well, I think this is going to be a real test for him. This is going to show what sort of character he's got, and if he's really got the heart for the game.
Right uppercut didn't seem to quite land from Margarito. Seemed to hit the gloves to me. The right hand did get through there, though. He's spending too much time on these ropes here, this Argentinian. Welcome back to the Mandalay Bay in Las Vegas. Splendid arena here. Atmosphere building all the time between tonight's big fight. Marco Antonio Barrera and Eric Morales. Martinez there, the Argentinian, with blood from the nose, as you can see in graphic detail. Not sure you wanted to.
You've got it anyhow. Also a bump developing just around that left eye. So, you know, testimony that he's starting to get hit with some pretty hard punches.
Martinez in the silver trunks, and I think we've determined already, despite some good pre-publicity about him, that he's no Carlos Monzon, the great world middleweight champion from Argentina, who reigned for 7 years through 14 defenses before his car ran off a country road and he was killed at too tender an age.
A little better for Martinez. If he can carry on using that speed and get out the way, he just stands around a bit too much when Margarito starts coming forward.
Margarito still determined to get in close, having to take one or two on the way in, mind you. Welterweight division, this one. It's becoming an exciting division too, with the De La Hoya Trinidad rematch mooted. Shane Mosley coming through, and a few others as well beginning to enter the equation, like Vernon Forrest. Mind you, he's been around bubbling under for quite a long time. Neither of these two in that kind of league so far. These are good shots getting through from Margarito here. Body shots, and they must be weakening Martinez. And I think they're going to destroy his ability to get around the ring eventually, if he can keep up this attack, the Mexican.
Well, he was just starting to work Martinez over with that little flurry of punches. Martinez's boxing is becoming more ragged. He's looking to hold when he gets inside now.
Oh, he gets there again, Margarito. Maybe that sparring with Oscar De La Hoya hasn't done him too much harm after all.
Well, not on this performance so far. It certainly made him tough enough. He doesn't want to be taking too many fast shots off De La Hoya.
Mind you, I bet he earned his money.